Welcome to Good News Week, coming tonight from the Australian Maritime Union Daycare Centre as part of the 1998 Melbourne International Comedy Festival. And the big news? According to yesterday's ABC News, and I quote, Pol Pot, the man who tore the heart out of Cambodia, has died of a heart attack. Lucky for them, he didn't have prostate cancer. Apparently his heart finally gave out after he was chased into an underground tunnel by Cambodian paparazzi. And the tributes are already flooding in. Saddam Hussein praised Pol Pot's thoroughness. Idi Amin vowed he'd be sorely missed, and Peter Reith said he was an inspiration. Scientists at the University of California have designed a tiny microphone that will ride along NASA's next mission to Mars and send back the sounds of the planet. So now in space, someone can hear you scream. NASA's plan is to explore Mars one sense at a time. We've seen it, we're going to hear it, and on the next mission, they're sending up a virtual tongue to give it a good licking. But if NASA wants to listen to something cold, lifeless, and distant, what's wrong with the John Law Show? Australia's first cosmetic surgery magazine is being launched later this year. It doesn't have a name yet, but it promises to be thinner, glossier, and younger looking than any other magazine on the market. The magazine is an authentic product of the cosmetic surgery industry. The staples still have stomach lining on them. The former chairman of EMI Music in Britain has started a company which will lend money to musicians in exchange for rights to their future earnings, then float the fledgling stars' futures on the stock exchange. But be careful, the word is Alan Bond is trying to refinance Milli Vanilli. Olivia Newton-John is supposedly merging with Marilyn Manson to produce The Girl Under the Floorboards Next Door. And I also hear that Jeff Buckley is being floated. Gee, you turn quickly, you people. There is potential for disastrous corporate mergers, too. Imagine if Hanson merged with Metallica. You'd end up with a death metal band who are afraid of the dark. After all, look what happened when one member of INXS merged with one of the Doors. And that's the good news!
It's Good News Week. Someone's dropped a bomb somewhere, contaminating atmosphere and blackening the sky. It's Good News Week. Someone's found a way to give the rotting dead a will to live, go on and never die. It's Good News Week. It's Good News Week.
Thank you, good evening. Tonight, doing all their own stunts, the indestructible Mikey Robbins, from America, the indispensable Rich Fulcher, and the indescribable Anthony Morgan. And they're digging in for a long fight with the dainty Julie McCrossan, the refined Mark Trevorrow, and the elegant Johanna Sweet. Should we invade Adelaide? Excellent.
It wouldn't be hard. You could just block off the street.
Okay, Mikey, Rich, Anthony, what's the story here?
What's an acid flashback?
Drippy stuff on
Drippy stuff on a bad
thing.
That's the Crown Casino.
It's
not looking so good.
It's my flat here in Melbourne.
All right, can I be straightforward? I've been out of the country for a week, so I've only been able to pick up CNN. But I believe this relates to the nuclear power joint in Chernobyl.
The Chernobyl
which they wrapped in a concrete sarcophagus.
That's nice. What is a sarcophagus, Anthony?
Oh, well, it's a nasty thing if you get it.
It's what happens when you smoke cement.
Yeah. In their quaint East European way, they thought, this'll fix a nuclear holocaust. We'll put it in a concrete sarcophagus. And now they found that water is actually compromising the integrity of the sarcophagus. I don't know, is it Chernobyl, Paul?
5 points!
Paul, I'd just like to say that later on, when I'm crap, can we all remember that I said compromise the integrity?
There are indeed fears that the concrete sarcophagus surrounding the failed nuclear reactor at Chernobyl is about to collapse, with large cracks appearing in the walls and roof. In the old Soviet Union, the proud engineers said the sarcophagus would last as long as the country itself. When it melted down in 1986, the entire reactor was simply covered in concrete. And that's what happens when you give a clean-up job to the Russian mafia.
Actually, of course, if it was Australia, we just crazy pave it. Put a couple of swans made out of tyres on the top.
And the swans would glow, so you wouldn't need lamps in the garden.
Gee, nuclear fallout all over Europe. Do you think the French will complain? There's no truth to the rumour that a bunch of Mururoa Islanders were seen leaving the reactor carrying a sledgehammer. The good news is Australia has offered to help. Noni Hazelhurst and John Jarrett are flying out to show those Ukrainians how to whip up a nuclear shelter in just one easy afternoon. Julie, Mark, Johanna, let's go to videotape.
Is it some sort of film crew? Lady in a nightie?
It's a magnificent historic home.
That's someone picking something up that I don't know a lot about, but I believe it could be of a condom nature.
Or was it an after-dinner mint?
Could have been They both serve a tremendously important purpose at certain times in your life.
Same taste at my hotel, that's for sure.
You know, I have a feeling that this is a story that relates to the astonishing sexual prowess of French people.
Uh-huh.
Particularly French men.
Oh, yeah.
You wouldn't be French yourself, would you?
No.
A survey was released that French men have more sex than any other nation.
Yeah, but not with anyone else.
But the French showed all the time.
So therefore the government has released a video to encourage, with all this sexual activity, to encourage safe sex.
By the use of after-dinner mints. In our country, when we want to get across a safe sex message, we get a little Grim Reaper out there, people falling over and dying.
Fear.
Fear. The French, evidently, I think we saw in the distance.
They've gone the negligés and the little porn stars and...
French government sexy movie to promote safe sex.
4 points! The French government is so concerned that heterosexual men aren't practicing safe sex, they've commissioned 5 top film directors to make pornographic films which reinforce the need for protection. And when the director asks for Vaseline on the lens, it's not an artistic shot, it's just... it's an extreme close-up. And Hollywood directors are getting in on the act too. Francis Ford Coppola is shooting Prophylactic now. Mel Gibson is making Braveheart. It's just like Braveheart. Only the warriors, when they raise their kilts, well, they're much better protected. Even this month's heartthrob, Leonardo DiCaprio, has made a condom movie, The Little Man in the Rubber Mask. Before the show, as we slipped into something wet and protective, both teams were given 3 clues to a recent strange but true story. For Robin's Fulcher and Morgan, Waiting for Godot.
Wow. It's a book.
It's a book.
And it's not even a proper book, it's of a play.
A cowboy hat.
Paul, you got a pretty mouth.
It'd be a shame to see that broken.
And lots of halos.
I'm the princess.
I just want to say at this point, it's all gone horribly wrong. And McCrossan, Trevorrow and Sweet were given a guitar.
I could have sworn I heard that on Triple M today.
A ghetto blaster.
A gecko blaster.
And a very excited crowd. I think that's you, so go wild. For round two, the ultimate battle between good and evil, that is bad street theatre. Rich and Mark will present a visual interpretation of a recent news story. Their teammates have to decipher it as quickly as they can. Mr. Fulcher, grab yourself a topic.
This is always a little scary, this bit, because mime sucks.
Now, they can't see.
This guy's going to be very interesting, I can tell already.
Before I begin, I'm from America.
Time begins now.
Okay, running to a spot. Man walking, man peeling a banana. Money,
you got
money.
a stack of money. It's just bad acting.
Poker machine. No, TAB.
Yeah, lottery. Keno.
Oh, hang on.
Keno.
The TAB is going to get its own TV show.
Yeah. Keno.
Club Keno.
Lucky dip.
You're eating an ice
The thing with a lot of numbered balls in a cage.
Oh.
And you turn it around and then you pull out a ball.
You're eating an ice cream.
Bingo!
Not just the word. Remember we did the bit of paper thing and you read that? Well, you've got that word. But see all those other words?
There's a lot of them, though.
There's a lot of them.
If anyone has a babysitter, now's a good time to call them. Okay, yes, paying big money.
Yeah,
Big money.
a lot of
we got
money.
the bingo thing, buddy.
Yeah.
Okay, bingo at the casino. They're going to do
Big
bingo.
time.
They're going to do bingo. Bingo is sword
All right,
fighting.
there's been a report.
A, bag, B.
It looks like they're going to fund the ABC with bingo.
Abattoir. Bingo. Cow bingo at the abattoir.
TA.
TAB. The TAB.
Okay, the Crown Casino is going so badly that high rollers are now coming to Australia from Asia and going to the TAB and organising bingo games.
That's
I'm going to give you 2 points. Let's hear it for Rich. I'm still trying to figure out whether sort of drawing letters in the air is okay. In a bid to capture a bigger slice of the Australian gambling market, the TAB may introduce betting on bingo games.
That's what we said. Did we say
said that?
No.
Did they say that, Johanna? No.
Oh, you're asking her?
It hurts me to support the other team, but I think they did.
Oh, Jules. I'm sorry, I think they did.
I'll have $20 each way on Mrs. McCready getting housing.
And before you start betting, you should be familiar with the terminology. 1 by half a head means the victor lost 50% of her brain to a stroke. Fast out of the box means several attempts by the family to bury her failed. And good in the wet, well, that's fairly self-explanatory. Mark, front and centre, please.
Whoa.
Go, Mark.
Go. You clap again. There you go. Oh, God, I hate mime. Honestly, the only place for mime is Countdown. I'm sorry.
Oh, close our eyes.
Do you want us to close our eyes too?
You'd know it's made for you. And your time begins now.
Okay.
Japanese tea ceremony. Japanese tea. Japanese. Japan.
Japan.
It's not about the Japanese economy being in terrible trouble. A little furry animal.
A cat. A Tamagotchi with hair. Something in water. A little furry something in water. A little furry.
It's
A big furry blobber bird in water.
Is that
A human can't do a better impersonation than that.
Would it be a creature under the water? A whale?
No, it's an octopus or a little jelly blubber.
safe Japanese aphrodisiac?
But it can be used for food, little animals for food.
Okay, we're in Japan, we've got a jelly...
Dogs! It's a jelly butters of a new craze pet in Japan.
Three points, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, the very latest thing in Japan is the pet jellyfish, the living lava lamp. And it's great news for pet lovers. I mean, previously, if you wanted a pet that bobbed in the water and wouldn't fetch a stick, you had to get a cat. Jellyfish don't slobber or bark, and they don't leave claw marks on the furniture, and they do exude calm.
Would you like the way I was just going with the tide? Did you know I was going with the tide? Being taken.
Yes, they do exude calm, unless you step on them, in which case they just exude. Pedigree jellyfish breeders have recently come up with a number of new varieties. There's the Irish jellyfish setter, the Rhodesian no-back, and, of course, the Kelpie, which comes with a bit of seaweed wrapped around it. And now the return of odd one out. Teams, we have the Bay City Rollers, the Wiggles.
I don't know, but that says sex to me.
Bromwell Bishop. Now, you see, that's where we're different, Mikey, because that says sex to me. And Bill Clinton.
That's not what you think. He's demonstrating how to poke a cheeseburger.
It's amazing. You would think there would be someone in the White House who would say, Bill, no matter what you do for the next 4 years, never make this movement.
With any part of your body.
Mikey, Rich, Anthony, any ideas on it?
Okay, Morgs, you want a punt?
Well, it's funny you should say punt because I believe Bronwyn Bishop is the odd one out because Bill Clinton, the Wiggles, and the Bay City Rollers.
That's 7 in a spar I'd like to see.
Are all public figures that decided to show us they were pretty crap at music. Bronwyn Bishop has at least had the dignity not to play bad music at us.
Well, wait a second, because you've had one crack at it, I'm going to throw it over to this team.
I think you're right, Morg. Bronwyn is the odd one out, but not for that reason, which is a good reason.
Yeah.
But all the others were mobbed at various points. The Wiggles were mobbed at an Adelaide shopping centre, which is quite an achievement, as you can imagine. Bill Clinton was mobbed in Africa because obviously they haven't got televisions over there. They know what's been going on. And Bronwyn would probably quite like to be mobbed at some stage.
It was amazing, like, when Clinton was being mobbed, you get back, except you come forward. I tell you, my idea of fun, though, was speaking of Wiggles concerts, I like to go to a Wiggles concert and stage dive.
I'm going to give you 3 points each for that, because I think you're both on the right track. And, of course, it is Bronwyn Bishop, because there never has been a riot at any one of her public appearances. The Wiggles concert was cancelled. 2,000 fans spat the dummy, which meant 2,000 dummies then had to be swept off the stage. Of course, it wasn't your normal riot. Normally, rioters break windows, throw bottles, and burn. These rioters broke wind through rattles and burped. There was no tear gas on hand at the riot, so the police just yelled, "Your puppy is dead. Your puppy is dead. Your puppy is dead." Endgame now. Mikey, Rich, Anthony, your strange but true clues were Waiting for Godot.
A good read, kids.
The cowboy hat.
You got pretty lips, Paul.
and those halos.
Statue of Liberty on Prozac.
And now your story, please.
It's actually a religious story, hence the halos. And it's...
Yeah, why so many, though? And why different colours?
Because there was a group, it was I think it was a Taiwanese strange religious group, moved to Texas. Why not?
Now I've heard about these people.
I believe they were the Church of the Holy Dough Whackers or something. And they said that God was going to turn up on a certain afternoon and take them all to heaven.
It was on the internet, wasn't it? And he was going to announce on the telly. Here I come. He was going to cut right through Oprah, Whitney, whatever. It was on. Just cut through and say, "This is God. I'll be there in a minute."
But sadly enough, God was a bit of a no-show.
And is this the same cult that we were talking about when Kate Fisher was on with the Wings, or is it yet another Texas cult?
Are you asking me now?
Well, remember...
I don't think I've been allowed on with Kate Fisher.
Do you remember when we did that show?
Yes.
How he predicted that sometime in April God would appear?
I do.
Yeah. Well, remember how that was earlier in the year?
Yeah.
It's now April.
Thank you.
We've pretty much answered this, but I'd still like to throw a question back to you, Paul, which is, why haven't I been allowed on when Kate Fisher's on? I mean, this is the ABC. We're not supposed to be protecting the sons of wealthy people in this country from heartbreak. If she can't resist me, she can't resist me.
You want to answer the question, Paul?
I don't want to have to be the one to tell you, Anthony, but you have been on with Kate Fisher.
Boy, did I enjoy it.
You kept calling her Margaret Scott all night.
Oh, my God, there's been a terrible mistake.
Basically, mate, God was supposed to show up, and he hasn't shown yet.
God, no show.
God, no
Okay,
show.
I'm going to give it to you. That's good.
Thank
14
you.
points. Take it away. And one of those points was, of course, for the Statue of Liberty that was beautiful at the top.
That was so nice.
As we told you a few weeks ago, a strange Taiwanese cult living in Dallas, Texas, believed God was going to appear to them at the end of March. Well, shock, horror, surprise, surprise, he didn't show. So, in a desperate bid to restore his credibility, the cult's leader, Cheng Ho-ming, told his 60 or so followers they had all become gods. Good idea. Warned them to be nice to their Chevrolets or they'd get run over in their sleep, and urged them to move to Michigan, where flying saucers will fly them to safety from a nuclear holocaust. But if the followers are gods, and, the Chevrolets can kill them, shouldn't we actually all be worshipping the cars? See, if the followers are gods and the Chevrolets can kill them, they should be worshipping the cars, surely, because the cars are then...
Paul, just run that over me again.
Julie, Mark, Johanna, your story is tied to the guitar, the Ghetto Blaster,
Ghetto Blaster and...
that crowd.
But I understand we're dealing with a replacement or something to build on the enormous success of those Spice Girls. Commonly put down, yet commonly enjoyed.
I'd love to put them down.
And why, Julie, why do you say Spice? Because of this backing thing?
It's
'cause
the
we're
little...
talking pre-recorded.
I think we're talking
Playback.
sort of pretend toy music, and people do accuse the Spice Girls of perhaps not being Beethoven revisited.
Tape backing.
Tape backing.
I know a lot about those.
Also a certain amount of artificial creation. I'm feeling it's something about a group of boys getting a go.
No. I think I'm going a totally different angle. I hope I don't go completely wrong here. But I'm going...
You could
I
never
think
go wrong, Johanna.
I think the obscure clue is the toy. In the age of competitive competitiveness between toy manufacturers in the age of, you know, you've got your little Tinky Winky and your Teletubbies and you've got all the other toys. And I think Mattel is actually going to bring out a manufactured Barbie band, and they're going to put some big busty
With real
manufactured
people.
thing, and they're going to sing. And they're going to be fake, but everyone will love them.
I think she could be right.
So I think it's like a pre-manufactured Barbie Mattel big marketing toy,
Or
and
like a Spice Girls thing with Barbie dolls, but with real people singing and miming and everything.
Yes! Yes, it is! They're right! Mattel are not only releasing a new range of musical Barbies, they're also putting together a real version of the Barbie band to tour the world playing Barbie songs. Barbie's friends are also involved. African-American Christy will be on keyboards, Hispanic Teresa will play guitar, and paraplegic Becky will be the tragic victim of stage diving. Mikey Robbins, Rich Fulcher and Anthony Morgan scored a degenerate 14 points. Showing up Julie McCross and Mark Trevorrow and Johanna Sweet on a room trashing 13 points. What is the problem?
Look, I don't know about points, but by any moral standing, I reckon, could we do anything to fix the situation?
Nothing goes over.
No,
we'll do anything,
Paul,
anything.
I could sing.
Yes!
I'd sing.
Heavens, we couldn't possibly finish this show with a gratuitous song.
I actually think we could.
Climb into the moon and let me float among the stars.
Oh, let me know what life is like on Jupiter and Mars.
In other words, hold my hand. In other words, darling, kiss me.
Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore.
You are all I long for, all I worship and adore.
Just stay down there a second. In other words, please be true.
Monica Lewinsky, you know. In other words, I'm in love with you.
Yeah.